Hi guys, welcome to the Perry Homes podcast. Trevor actually had me on here as a guest host today. Steve doesn't know, but we're actually going to be interviewing Steve today and getting to know him a little bit.
That's hilarious.
I'm putting that in.
That has to stay in here. So it's we're here with Luis, who is the host, the new host of the Perry Homes, the guest host, and he's killing it. What a great way to start out! I love it. Hey, listen, we'll just get into it. Luis is one of our superintendents. He has a fantastic sense of humor. We have a great time whenever he's with us. I was teasing him. I usually just see him in his construction gear, you know, the jeans and the polo and I'm like, Luis, are you going to church? What's the dude? You look nice, man.
Yeah, I had to dress up. We're going to be on camera.
Dressing up for the podcast. Well, and when you're the guest host, you have to look.
You're not just some interview person. You're hosting the thing.
Well, let's just jump into it. We'll talk about kind of your life at Perry Homes, but give us a little just background on you and where you're from and what you're all about.
Also, tell us how to say your last name, because I always spell it wrong.
It's Aguilera. So like Christina Aguilera.
Okay,
perfect.
Nice. Cousin Christina. Yes.
Yeah. 31 years old, so about the same age as Trevor here.
Yep.
Are you guys both that young? How old are you?
I'm old. I'm 32.
Oh, we feel old. We feel old.
Gosh, guys, I just hit 58.
Oh, yeah, you're old.
I'm your parents' age. I'm probably way older because I'm about the age.
Yeah, my dad's 59.
Your dad, yeah. I'm probably way older than your parents, Luis.
Well, my dad was born in 1960 and my mom in 1970.
Oh, okay. I was 66, so I'm right between your mom and dad. Okay. Okay, cool. So so I'm here with my kids. Yeah,
here with Grandpa Steve.
This is great. Anyway, sorry. Aguilera.
Aguilera.
Okay.
Been with Perry just over 5 years now, a little over 5 years, and I work out in Tooele. I have 2 children, a 6-year-old son, George, who's a tornado of a person.
Love it.
And then my daughter, Kensington, she's 3 years old.
Awesome.
And she's more like a wildfire, like what's going on in California right now, you know? A lot of charisma, a lot of attitude. So.
How old is she?
She's 3.
3, okay.
3, so... right now, hobbies and stuff, I just like spending a lot of time with my kids, a lot of park trips and watching Baby Shark videos with my daughter, things like that.
Are you doing any like Bluey or Miss Rachel or anything like that?
She does it sometimes, but it's Baby Shark.
Yeah, that's the main deal. Okay.
Yeah. Love construction, love being able to build stuff and being part of the team over here at Perry.
Yeah, let's get into that. So you've been here 5 years, been superintendent the whole time?
Assistant super.
Oh, so you started as an assistant
super, yeah.
Who trained you?
So Lance was my mentor there for about a year and a half, 2 years. Actually, it's ongoing training. So
yeah. He's kind of we talked to Jeannie, right, who was one of the agents out there that you work with. And we talked about the team of supers, that she's got such a great team. And we kind of did a shout out for Lance that, after 3 decades, he really is kind of a senior leader, mentor. Can you talk about that a little bit, about your training and about just kind of your relationship with him as a senior mentor guy and how that works?
Yeah, Lance. I remember the first time I met Lance. It was during my second interview with Perry. So Jeff was there, Lance was there, and Tyler Perry was there.
Oh, wow. You got the whole gambit there.
Yeah, no, I told Jeff, I remember after this, I just recently told Jeff this. I was like, man, when I walked into that second interview, those guys seemed like they were 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
I remember the first question I think Lance asked me on that second interview, he says, how do you feel about working long days? So that was,
he's just getting right into it. Like, let's go. Let's go.
Doesn't surprise me that Lance asked that question.
Yeah.
So, and if you know Lance, so that's kind of... so that was that. And then I was like, man, after that interview, I was like, not going to call back from these guys. But I did get a call back, and then I started with Perry shortly after. And I met Lance pretty early, 6:30 in the morning. He wanted me over there.
Oh, sure.
And the first bit, just kind of guided me through things, kind of just shadowed him for about, a few days. And training started immediately, right? I mean, we were talking about the construction process, how we do things at Perry, our subs, how we schedule, and the different things that go into a home. So I do have, most of my working career has been in the construction industry.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I did have some knowledge, but nothing like what I do now for Perry. And Lance has just been great. It took him a year and a half, 2 years to train me.
Yeah.
So it was a tough one, I guess, for him.
Until you became a full superintendent.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
Which is that's 2 years is kind of the standard deal for a new guy to come in and be promoted to a super. So that's about right in line.
But our whole company, not just Lance. I mean, Lance is, if I have an issue or a question, he might be a person I call first.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could call any one of my supers or even Steve and ask him a question. I try not to call Steve. Last time I asked him something, he made me do a training over at our...
Oh, that's right, on the ejector pumps.
On the ejector pumps.
Yeah.
Won't make that mistake again.
Which, by the way, you killed it in that training. That was we're going to do more of that. Have the supers do training in that. You kind of set the bar pretty high because you did a really good job on that.
So get ready. You're going to be doing more
a
training.
couple more of those. And now, Lance is there. We all work together, so we're doing a lot in Tooele. There's 3 or 4 different kind of subdivisions out there. Now I'll do a part of that. Tarek does a part of that, and Lance does. Lance kind of does the top and the bottom end out there.
Yeah.
He'll do our temple lots, which are right around our temple view lots, and then he does our townhomes, which is real exciting for him. I wish I got to build some of those.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are good ones. Hey, let me ask you, right? We as a super, you don't really do much of the work hands-on yourself. We're what they call a paper contractor, where all of the different functions we sub out to the subcontractors. Can you talk about your relationship with the subs? How does that work? Some of the good things, maybe some of the difficult things. What's your relationship like with our subs?
Yeah, so we schedule and we talk to our subs for every home and, every part of the construction process. What I like to do, after I schedule, I like to stop by my houses, every day, every house. And then while I'm there, I'll talk to the subs about, hey, is there any issues you're seeing? Do you know what's going in this house? The upgrades that we're doing, are we doing anything extra there? And I'll talk to them like that, and it's pretty nice. Most of our subs have been with Perry longer than I have.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Longer, so, these guys know what they're doing. They've been doing it for Perry and for themselves for decades, right? So a lot of times just touching base and making sure we're catching all the things that we need to be doing, not necessarily they're doing bad. So sometimes when things go wrong, things get difficult. So those are tough conversations sometimes, for me especially, occasionally. So you have to be real careful about how you approach someone when there's an issue, I guess. You want to be professional. You want to find the solution, right? I think that's the biggest part of it. But they're all really good about getting things fixed if they need to be fixed. And I just I'm grateful that Perry has maintained these long relationships with subs because it makes my job easy, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna brag on Luis for a minute. He wouldn't say this, but we have at the end of the house we do the walkthrough. Jeannie talked about the walkthrough, where the homeowners show up and they walk through, and then anything that's wrong with the house, right? They make a list. We call it a punch list in the industry. And then a week later, Luis has a week to finish those things, and then the homeowner moves in. The theory is they move in with 0 items at the end because everything has been fixed. And on occasion, if a super is really done a great job and is really paying attention to the details, on that first walkthrough, there are 0 items. and we call that a 0-item walk list, and that's a big deal. I mean, think about a house with 10,000 parts, right? 30 different subs to have a 0 walkthrough, and Luis continually gets 0-item walkthroughs, and it's a big deal to get one of those on occasion. You've done 4 or 5 in the last few months.
I was just gonna say that it's been multiple in the last few months.
Trevor helps us track these. How do you? Right, it's a big deal to me as the president of the company, because that dramatically increases our buyers' satisfaction, their trust level. The reviews that we get from out there from the buyers that you do are sky high. Can you talk about the process and effort that goes into getting a 0 walkthrough house?
Well, that was Luis Aguilera that got those 0s.
That was my fault.
No, I agree with you, Steve. You know, when you can walk a house with the homeowner and it's difficult for them to find any unfinished items or unsatisfactory items, I mean, their confidence in us as a builder
it's huge.
It's huge, and it makes a big difference. It does take a lot of work, and I think we're a little more than 30 subs when we build a house. We have a spreadsheet with all the invoices we pay, and I think there's 53 or 54 line items on there. And each one of those line items represents a sub or a different bill we're paying out.
It's a complicated job for sure.
So here's what it takes to get something like that. One, I've never built super custom homes, so I'm on the easier side of things. But it starts at foundation. It starts at your permit. When you meet with the buyer, when I meet with the buyer during our pre-construction meeting, gives me a chance to talk with them, ask them what they're expecting, if there's any, things they haven't liked when they've walked a plan, and I make notes of what's important to them. If there's some minor changes or things like that we have to make. Just had a recent one where we had his name's Daniel, he's like 7 feet tall. So during our pre-construction, he says, I hate the showers that are always like that. So I said, hey, we can push that up.
Yeah, because we shut the showers at 6'8", right? So that would hit him. You can shower from your waist down, Daniel. Yeah.
So small things like that, make a big difference when someone's buying a home. At the end of the process, you kind of have to stay on your homes and make sure everything's getting done to your expectation or to Perry's standards, which, like I said, our subs are really good at knowing what those are since they've been working with us for so long. And, no matter how much work goes into a house, sometimes all the buyers care about is the paint job.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
So one of the things you do as a super when you're getting ready for a walkthrough, we try to make sure we walk through the whole house, right? We spend time in each room. We address items that need to be addressed. If there's damaged knob, replace. Gotcha. We're going to replace that. There's a damaged screen. Let's take care of that. We blue tape the house, before our walkthrough. The homeowners have a chance to walk the house with us and blue tape stuff also, but you have to go through everything. We take a lot of pride in the little things, right? We want to go the extra mile, so we'll adjust the cabinets. We'll make sure everything is complete. I think the biggest key to a 0 defect is making sure it's complete.
Yep.
Right?
And we call it clean and complete, right? Just that everything is 100% done.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the little things. You also have to stand back, walk the house from the outside, look up. I wear a hat, so sometimes I forget to look up, but make sure you're looking up at the ceilings. Make sure things are looking good. You want to present this house, as if you're building it for yourself. And I think if you set that standard as a builder, there's going to be very few homeowners who aren't going to like what you're presenting.
Yeah. Because really, to get a house with 5 items, I would consider that a really good house.
Yeah.
To get one with 0 items. And anyway, thank you. And I love how you characterize that. It's interesting that you said you start from the foundation, right? You're taking efforts to look at the quality all the way through. You can't just show up the last couple of days of the house, right, and expect it to be done that way. So
Yeah.
really great work on that.
Well, and I go out to Tooele quite a bit. I go out to all of our communities, take pictures, get 3D scans of our homes, and I don't always see the superintendent there. They're doing different things, running around, taking care of their entire community. But without fail, every time I go to Tooele, I know I'm going to see Luis. Every single time. Even just last night. Last night I went out to Tooele to get a 3D scan. Sun's going down. I'm trying to kind of hurry before we lose all the sunlight. And I'm upstairs finishing up, and I look out the window, and Luis is driving around the corner, coming around. I'm like, there he is.
Love it.
Every time. I have noticed that attention to detail, that you're in every home every single day, checking, making sure everything is done. So I just wanted to give you a shout out on that, because I have noticed that, and I know our home buyers notice that as well. With even if it's not a zero item walkthrough, you have a great attention to detail, and I just wanted to shout that out, because everyone needs to know.
Well, I take care of these homes, so I think I was going through and locking up houses and stuff. Trevor likes to switch cars on us every month. He's got a new car, so I didn't know who was in the house at first. I just wanted to make sure we were locked up.
Who is that?
I forgot about that. I did. I totaled my car. I got a new car. So,
and I love when Trevor comes out, because it means that's another house I'm going to see pictures of on our website.
That's fun, isn't it?
And or a 3D tour. And you know what, Trevor? I love what Trevor does, because when there's a new plan or something that I haven't built, I'm able to hop on our website and kind of walk through one of those plans and see how things were done there. And I think one time I emailed Trevor, I got on the little chat box on our website. And
that's funny.
And I said, hey, do you have a 3D tour for this plan? And he sent it right over. But no, I love our website, and I get on there a lot if I have a question about how someone did something on a different house, or the same house in a different area.
Those are helpful.
Awesome.
Trevor, you've been kind of, for a couple of years, been on a campaign to make sure every one of we have got 52 home plans, to make sure every one of those has a 3D is that
every single one has a 3D.
Yeah.
We're still, there's a few left that we don't have, that we haven't built for a while, but that is the goal. Every single one.
Love it.
It's nice to know that those are helping. That people walk through those. So that's good.
Hey, Luis, let me wrap this up by asking a question we ask at the end all the time. What, in your opinion, what are some of the reasons why someone should buy a Perry home?
There's lots of reasons why people build with us. I think we have a stellar reputation company-wide. I mean, people have been working on things. I'm one of the junior superintendents over at Perry Home, so I've been here 5 years, and I'm probably, there might be 1 or 2 or 3 supers that have been here less time than me,
right.
And 8 or 9 that have been here for decades.
Yeah, right.
And they've used that time to really hone their skills and build a quality home. Also, Perry has, I think, value-wise, Perry is probably the best value, at least in my area out in Tooele. We're not trying to build the most inexpensive home, but what we put in our houses, if you compare that to another builder, I think you get a better value with us. And our warranty, I think we stand behind what we build, It's whether it's 5 years from now or 5 days from now, when something goes wrong, this is a house that Perry built, right?
we take care of it.
So we take care of things, and we stand behind what we built, and I'm very grateful to work for such a great company and be part of something that's nice, and it's very rewarding, driving through a subdivision and seeing what you've done
with the finished product, right? You see families
product
moving there and in the homes that you built.
Oh yeah, that's the best. I remember, I see kids running around, and I remember them when they were now they're tall and stuff. It's like, is that the same? It's gotta be.
5 years later, right? These kids are growing up a little bit.
So I mean, I think if you are building a home, definitely look into Perry. Definitely look in the Tooele area.
Love it.
Awesome.
Luis will build you a great house. Well, listen, thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure. And we love having you as part of our company. And thank you for watching another episode of the Perry Homes Podcast. Thanks a lot.